Hi there. My name is Joy Daddies, and I am the Center Director for S.A.M Singapore Math here in Naga City. We have been operating since June 2019, and it has been more than 2 years of a very enriching experience teaching kids and kids at heart how to fall in love with math. I thought I'd come out on video this time because I wanted to share something that I thought is really worth sharing, and that is all about seriously addictive mathematics, or Singapore math. Now, in 2019, according to trends in international mathematics and science study, or what we would usually call the TIMS, Philippines, our country, ranked last among 58 countries in both grade 4 math and science. And that was really alarming. Even the previous results, as well as the succeeding results, did not show any different. Singapore, though, the country, was always first, and thus the very high interest in Singapore maths. Now, if you ask any parent here in the city what Singapore math is, you are likely to receive numerous answers from bar modeling, word problems, math toys or math manipulatives, as we call them, to Singapore maths textbooks. But what they probably do not know about Singapore math is that the focus of Singapore math is on the thought process, the analytical process of problem solving rather than the procedure of solving. I believe doing well in math is not just about memorizing a formula or multiplication table, or even just about calculation using a step-by-step solution. I believe that math is more about understanding the problem and recognizing the type of problem that they are encountering, and then applying what we call a heuristic approach or a practical approach to effectively and efficiently discover the answers. Now, the way Singapore math is taught here raises the cognitive function of children, allowing them to understand more complex problems through thought, experience, and the senses, developing many other aspects of intellectual functions along the way, such as logic and reasoning, judgment and evaluation, and decision making, which, by the way, will benefit them throughout their lifetime. I spoke with a teacher here in one of the schools here, and I was told that they teach Singapore math. Now, I asked them how they do it, and they said they are using Singapore math textbook. Isn't that Singapore math? Well, it is. But, Singapore math is not just a curriculum, or it's not just about the textbooks that are used. It is, in its essence, a teaching methodology that optimizes the way a child learns. So one of the key principles in Singapore math is what we call the concrete pictorial abstract, or CPA approach. And this is based on the research by a psychologist named Jerome Bruner. His theory suggests that for children to develop an understanding of a concept, they need to go through the 3 steps of CPA. So allow me to just unpack this for just a little bit. I promise that this won't take a lot of time. The first one is concrete representation, and what we call the inactive stage. Here, an idea is presented to a student by acting it out with real objects. In division, for example, this might be done by segregating blue and yellow blocks into groups of blue and yellow blocks, or by sharing 8 sweets among 4 friends. And here, the students do not need to imagine 8 divided by 4. This is a very hands-on step using real objects, and is, according to Jerome Bruner, the foundation for conceptual understanding. Now, the next step is what we call pictorial step, otherwise known as the iconic stage. This is where a student has sufficient understanding of the physical experience of sharing 8 candies among 4 friends, and can now relate them to representations, such as a diagram or a picture of the problem. In our previous division example, this may be done by encircling the objects to share. And then, and only then, can we go to the abstract representation, or into what we call the symbolic stage. This is very far from how we were taught when we were young. No, we were asked to memorize the multiplication table: 3 times 3 equals 9. We don't know why, but it is 3 times 3 equals 9. In the symbolic stage, this is the only time that we are able to relate the physical experience and the pictorial experience into symbols, where the student is now capable of representing the problems using a mathematical notation. In our example, we can now say 8 divided by 4 equals 2. And this is the final step. For, of course, it is clearly the most mysterious of the three. No? Now, here at S.A.M, we understand that maths can be difficult. It is a difficult subject. However, we know that it is also essential to a child's development. And so therefore, we adopt a holistic approach by making math a simple and fun experience as they master the essential techniques of solving problems and progressing at their own pace, yet ensuring that the skills such as critical thinking, logical reasoning, and metacognitive understanding, along with specially independent learning, confidence, and diligence are fostered. Now, S.A.M's approach is to combine classroom experience with worksheet experience, bringing what is physically experienced in Singapore schools to some classrooms in the Philippines. The classroom experience, we do everything online this time, but it is conducted by certified S.A.M trainers, where they are engaged in dialogue, in probing questions, props, games, contests, and a healthy dose of encouragement. The idea is to make learning fun and memorable, and it is done through an interactive experience. No? Here we explain the concept. We do guided practices and get them to become more confident to do their independent practices through the worksheets. Our system boasts of about 300,000 worksheets created by S.A.M. These are carefully calibrated and designed to create a step-up difficulty. So it starts easy and goes more difficult as we progress. No? And this fosters confidence and independent learning in children. I want to say that it also engages each student individually in their own designated time of maybe even just 20 or 30 minutes a day at home, instilling self-discipline and independent learning. And these are skills required in all manners of learning, not just in math. So I feel very passionate about Singapore math, and I feel very positive, very hopeful that using the techniques of teaching Singapore math and learning Singapore math, your child may learn to fall in love with math all over again. So call us. We would be more than happy to answer your questions and see how we may be able to support your child. And we so look forward to meeting you and your child in one of our S.A.M classes. Thank you.